Natasha.
Debbie.
Show.
The show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
We hope that you guys will stay here with us today during this episode, and we hope that you'll share this to your social media accounts as well. This is a very important day for us, and important for a lot of reasons. It's a sad day. 1 year ago today, we lost our boy, Tyson. And it'll be 2 years in December, we lost our little girl, Jazz. Now, to say that we're crushed and broken still is an understatement.
Way understated.
Yeah. It's been absolutely horrific without them in our lives because they were the joy, the light, the life, you know. And you know what? Tyson was from a shelter. Jazz was from a rescue. They weren't breeder bought dogs.
No.
And you can get your best friend, your best family member. You know, you don't get to choose your family unless they're dogs or cats. Nothing against cats. I'm just allergic. But today we want to honor Tyson, as we did back in December. If you haven't seen it, go back and take a look at it. We did a video on Battersea in honor of Jazz. And today we want to honor Tyson by looking at the RSPCA. Now, we know the ASPCA was founded right after the RSPCA. And actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in tribute, you know what I mean. But just a couple quick things that we said during the Battersea video. We're going to repeat here really quickly for you.
In our search for finding Tyson and Jazz, that motivated us to stand up and do something and create our own nonprofit to help rescues and shelters, help homeless pets around our area.
And that's just one example of how much Tyson and Jazz changed our lives forever. And we became self-taught dog behaviorists. You know, we've done a lot with different shelters and rescues, and we've even worked with a shelter and rescue over in Thailand, helping to get dogs away from the meat trade and here to the U.S., which is something we're very proud of. Again, Tyson and Jazz made that happen, our babies, and we want to honor them. It's hard, but we want to, and we want to ask you to help too. We want to ask you to please help, whether it be, you know, helping with the RSPCA, Battersea, your own local shelter or rescue. You know, there's so many things. Everyone can do their part to help.
You can donate. And if you don't have money to donate, you can donate time. And if you can't donate your time, advocate, be a social media advocate, share posts that your local shelters put out on social media.
And I did say a couple statistics on the video on Battersea, and I've never in my life screwed up those because I've been saying them for 18 years. Right. Not 18, but 17. And one, I want to correct. I said this, and I'm going to say it correctly. In America, we have such an overpopulation problem because people do not spay and neuter their pets. That is so important. People don't always go to the shelters or rescues. They buy from breeders. Yep. And the problem with that is, because of that, 800 dogs and cats are euthanized an hour here. An hour.
It's insane. And the best thing you can do is adopt from your local shelter.
Or rescue.
Spay and neuter your pets.
So today what we're going to do in honor of Tyson, we're going to look at this video, and it's a couple different things. We're going to check out a tiny bit of history, a little bit about volunteering at the RSPCA, and we're going to take a look at the day in the life of an RSPCA animal care assistant, and that's at the Woodside Animal Care Center, the Leicestershire RSPCA, for Tyson. Good.
We were born in 1824 from a meeting of animal lovers in a coffee shop in Victorian London.
Oh, cool.
We became known as the SPCA, Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
And thank you for that.
In 1835, we abolished bear baiting and bull baiting.
Good.
In 1840, Queen Victoria granted permission for the Society to adopt the royal prefix, and we became known as the RSPCA. In 1866, we inspired America to create its own animal protection society, along with Australia in 1872 and New Zealand in 1882.
Nice.
In 1911, the Protection of Animals Act was passed, tackling almost every possible form of ill treatment to animals. In 1914, during World War I, the RSPCA set up a Sick and Wounded Horses Fund, providing 13 animal hospitals,
Wow.
180 horse-drawn ambulances, and 26 motor ambulances for the Veterinary Corps.
That's fantastic. That's great.
In 1952, we trained the first 2 women patrol officers, although female inspectors were not formally appointed until the 1970s.
Really?
In 2005, the Hunting Act came into force to protect foxes, deer, and hares from being hunted with dogs.
I knew that.
In 2006, Parliament passed the Animal Welfare Act, making it possible for the RSPCA to save animals from the likelihood of cruelty.
Fantastic.
Yes.
We have now been saving the lives of animals for almost 200 years.
God bless you. Before we go on in the next portion here, I just want to say our deepest respects to Paul O'Grady, who passed away recently. We did not know of Paul O'Grady until we did our video on Battersea back in December, but you all let us know in the comments, and thank you for that. Anyone who advocates for animals is a hero in this world, and the world definitely lost a hero.
They sure.
Our
Yes.
sincerest respect to his work, and may his memory live on.
A recent NCVO survey showed 61% volunteer because they want to make a difference, 39% because they believe in the cause.
It can be very easy to get overwhelmed by some of the terrible things that are happening all over the globe, especially looking at social media. This is my way of actually doing something positive.
They help us deliver a really high level of animal welfare, and without their help we wouldn't be able to care for the animals the way we do. So it's very important that we have volunteers.
Spending time with the dogs is amazing, and it's become a massive part of my life.
I was inspired at primary school by a fantastic teacher, Mr. Miles, who encouraged us to respect animals and nature.
And I was 4 years old, and my parents took me and my sister to go and choose 2 kittens. And I can still picture it in my head, and it was just love at first sight. And then when I discovered the opportunity that you can actually volunteer with animals, it's a perfect combination.
Volunteers have a massive impact on the running of the centre. Staff are often really busy with their own duties, so it's important that the dogs get out for some exercise and human interaction, and that's where the volunteers can step in and really help.
Absolutely.
My main duties and responsibilities are to collect sick and injured animals and take them to animal centres. This includes smaller birds, and with experience and training gulls, and now I have life jacket training, I can release swans.
That's amazing.
Aww.
It's such a magical experience to see a rehabilitated swan released back onto the water.
The staff and the people that come in to adopt the animals, it is one big team, and we all work together in the best interest of the animals. And I've made some really great friends as well.
It's just an incredible journey when you work with the animals to help them become from quite often being quite terrified to being really happy. And all the volunteers agree it's a two-way love story. We love them, they love us, everybody's happy.
The training here has been amazing. So we do basic training, and then gradually you learn more and more as time goes on.
I think it's such a privilege to live in a country where you have an organisation that offers such high levels of care and dedication to the animals.
I've always been conscious about how the RSPCA has been such an amazing charity, and have followed the RSPCA for years. So it was just a fantastic opportunity to be able to come and help them. My favourite story is a cat called Douglas, who became one of the big lovers of my life. He gradually got to trust me, and I have to admit, the day he left the centre, I cried rather a lot because I was going to miss him very much.
So for anybody thinking about becoming a volunteer, I would definitely encourage them to do so. It's a lot of fun. You make a big difference to the animals here, the staff, and the wider community.
Just do it. You will get so much out of it, and so much more than you even think you'll get out of it. You'll think you're coming here to help the animals, but actually it's so much more than that. You meet friends, you meet like-minded people, but the animals love you as much as you love them, and it's amazing.
I used to volunteer at the RSPCA, and now I'm actually a manager at one of the centres.
Wow.
Our volunteers are amazing. They're a huge part of our team, and they give us so much to help us do the work that we do.
Volunteer. It gives you the opportunity to get close to animals and birds you may rarely have seen, and provides you with a great knowledge about them too. I'm so proud to be part of the RSPCA. So could you.
Yeah, I wanted to pause it there because, like it said in the video, make a difference. If you want to make any kind of make a difference in a pet's life, volunteer at the local shelter, rescue. These places cannot run without volunteers.
That's absolutely right.
And like they said in the video, you can make friends, get you out.
Yeah.
And you never know what you're going to find and get to experience.
Yeah, and I'll say too, even with adoption, adopting an animal, rescuing, whatever, how you want to call it that. We think we're rescuing them and we're adopting them. Nope.
No.
Nope. They are rescuing our hearts. They are adopting us in every way possible.
Yes.
They are adopting our hearts too. So we're not, of course we're helping them, but they're helping us more. They are. Yeah. But volunteer work is something that it's also, let's not lie here, it's not easy.
No.
It's not.
It's not.
It's hard work. But if you're committed to doing it, you can be such a change in so many lives. And we would absolutely just be thrilled to death to know if anyone watching this video would do that. And again, RSPCA is what we're looking at today, but there are other local places, local branches of the RSPCA. We have I said ASPCA, but we call it the SPCA here in America. But we have many different branches of that around. So, and there's other shelters and other rescues. There's so many places that need help.
They do.
All right, here we go.
The Woodside Animal Centre, which is Leicestershire's branch of the RSPCA. The centre has facilities to care for and rehome animals including 4 kennel blocks, a cattery, 3 exercise areas, a woodland walk and a cabin.
Nice.
The centre is able to rehabilitate a range of animals including cats, birds, rabbits and of course dogs.
Now, I just have to say, this is our first time ever looking at any of the RSPCA facilities, so this is going to be really cool. I'm already impressed by how big and different.
Yeah.
This is great.
Woodside even has its own shop, which has everything pet related from food to beds and dog leads. And you can even pick up some Woodside merchandise.
Heck yeah, I would.
The centre employ a team of animal care assistants which have the day in day out role of caring for the animals. And this film is going to follow a typical day in the life of an ACA working at Woodside.
So cute. Day in the life of an animal care assistant.
The animal care assistant I'm documenting today is 22-year-old James. He's worked at the centre for over 5 years and has experience working with all the different animals that the centre can care for.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how old this video is, but whether James is there or not still, thank you, sir.
But today, James is working with the dogs. And the very first job James has to do every day is prepare breakfast for the dogs. He then has to put the dogs in their adjoining outside kennels.
It's like the time when that Tyson was in.
He must put coats on the puppies and the underweight dogs and it's still cold and wintry outside.
Oh.
He then has to take the house-trained dogs outside so they can go to the toilet before he can clean out the kennels. So why is it important to take the house-trains outside?
Okay, so when we get dogs come into the centre, we never know sort of how they're going to be in the kennel. Normally most dogs will do their business in the kennel, but we do get the odd one that will want to go out for a wee and a poo. So what we do is first thing in the morning is we'll take them out for a wee and a poo to help them relieve themselves, bless them. We try and do that about 4 times a day, and then again the following day. Most dogs do poo and wee in the kennel. Sometimes it can be down to stress. Or just the needing to go. The dogs tend to get about 2 to 3 walks a day, and we have volunteers that come in and help us out with that as well.
Volunteers, needed.
James then gets the hose so he can clean out the kennels and fill up the dog bowls with water for the dogs to drink from. How often do you clean a day?
We clean every day. We do a full clean in the morning, so we get all the dogs out, give them a good hose down, scrub down, get them all nice and dry, get the beds all nice and fresh for them. And then what we do in the afternoon is we do a full clean on the back, so the mess that the dog's made on the outside will then obviously clear that up, so it's all nice and fresh. So when they go to bed, all nice and clean, and then we have to come in the next day to do it all over again.
James then goes outside with the food he prepared earlier and gives it to the dogs. This is their breakfast.
God bless them.
So how often do you feed the dogs?
We feed the dogs basically ranged on their weight and what diet they're on. Most dogs get fed once in the morning and once in the evening. Some dogs can have 3 meals and sometimes can even have 4. It all comes down purely to the weight and sort of how we need to look at how their diet has been in their previous home as well. Most dogs will eat normally here, some will struggle to eat, can be down to kennel stress, can sometimes be the food. Some dogs can be really picky and fussy with food, so it's really important that we get the right nutrition so that they do eat while they're with us. Also, we do things like Kongs as well, so we stuff their food in Kongs, and that really helps them. So if they're stressed, it gives them something to do. It's a bit of a fun game, but they're still getting the food that they need as well.
He then prepares afternoon meals for the dogs, and he makes sure to cover them to keep them fresh. So how do you give your dogs medication?
Okay, so we can either give medication orally or we do it physically. So with oral stuff, that'll be things like putting tablets in their food, maybe putting in a little bit of meat and just popping it inside the mouth, or just offering it to the dogs. Some dogs will take it, but not all the time because nobody likes tablets. Also, we do eye drops. And
Jazz loved them. Jazz, you can give her whatever. She's like, okay,
she
cool.
did.
Tyson's like, spit it out. Don't even give me that. I'm just saying. But Jazz
They're also different, just like people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But not all the time because nobody likes tablets. Also, we do eye drops and ear drops, and also sort of washes for dogs with like skin conditions. So that'll be drops in the ears, drops in the eyes, full wash. There's so many different medications out there that we have to give to the dogs. So we try and obviously keep on top of that and provide them with the need and care that they need.
James then completes his daily paperwork. So what's the importance of paperwork?
Okay, so with the paperwork, obviously paperwork's really important in any business or job industry. With the animals, we need to monitor so many things. These things include food, poo and wee charts. We need to know medically how they are. We do this every day, so we'll tick off to say if they've had a good poo, bad poo, if the dog's been sick, if it's on medication. We need to monitor everything so we can make sure it's in full health while it's with us.
They do a great job.
We also do paperwork with the training, so we monitor down how well they've been in the day. So walking, making them sit, wait, so we can gradually get them rehomed and let the owners know.
I love hearing when places do it right. Because honestly, there's so many that don't.
No,
you know,
they don't.
We found out with Battersea, they do it all the way they're supposed to. And hearing it here and seeing it, doing it right. Doing it right.
Getting them out for exercise, getting them trained a little bit.
Everyone has something they can do. You know, when I did photography full time, we would go to shelters. I would take photos of the dogs for them to put up on, you know, pet finders with a site we have here, where you go to look for adoptable dogs. You know, everyone's got something they can do, you know, to help in some way.
Exactly.
This guy's giving all his, everything.
I've been with us at the centre.
James then gives the dogs their afternoon meal.
Look how gracious.
Before he can take his assigned dog, German Shepherd Meg, out to the exercise area for training.
Oh, cool.
So what's the importance of off-lead play?
Okay, so obviously a lot of dogs, you know, they need to be active, they need to be playful, and they need time to bond with their owners. Good girl, good girl. We let virtually all of our dogs off the lead unless there's some health issues we need to look at. And when we have them off lead, we play toys, we groom them. It's a good way to interact with the owners. We also do socialisation off lead with other dogs. It's really beneficial for them. They absolutely love it. Raggers are really good to get the frustration out, especially with kennels as they do get very stressed.
James then conducts a dog socialisation with a puppy from another kennel block at the centre. So why is it important to socialise dogs?
Okay, so with socialising dogs, normally when the dogs first come in, we never really know how the dogs react with other dogs. We do behaviour work with them, so we introduce them to dogs, so we see how they get on. Majority of the dogs we get in are sociable with dogs or have previously lived with dogs, but unfortunately we do get dogs that are not social with dogs, and so dogs have to be muzzled when out on walks. It's no fault of their own, it does happen. This is why socialisation is really important, and when they are puppies it's crucial that you get your dog socialised with cats and dogs, small animals, and even people, so that they're more comfortable out on their walks. It really does benefit them a lot, and it also benefits you as an owner.
Yes.
James then hoses down and scrubs the outdoor kennels after getting all the dogs back inside. So do you think your daily role impacts on the rehabilitation of dogs?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it does. I think because we do so much behaviour work with our dogs here, it's really beneficial for them to learn some new commands, be socialised, helps them get out into the big wide world. Also with the food as well, you know, getting them used to sitting, waiting for their food, and just respecting the owners more as well.
I just want to say, I think I've already said it. Don't care if I did. Sing it again. Anyone who helps animals in need, you're heroes.
In any way, anything you do.
Our deepest respects right now to the RSPCA. Thank you for the work you did. Now, when we did the Battersea video, Battersea actually did watch our video. They did put a comment in, so I don't know if the RSPCA will be watching this, if anyone from any portion of it. If you are, thank you for the work that you do. Sincerely, we thank you.
And thank you to all volunteers.
Absolutely. And all patrons, all people that donate everything.
After walking and feeding the dogs once more, James is done for the day. And after seeing a typical day in his life as an animal care assistant, I'm intrigued to find out if his work helps the centre rehab and rehome animals.
Of course it does.
So I caught up with other members of staff to find out more.
Sorry, it's a little silly question.
Do you think Woodside as a centre is successful at rehoming animals?
Yes, I do. We're basically one of the top rehoming centres, and we do rehome a lot of animals.
Good.
Dogs, cats, chickens, birds, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, rats, mice, you know. So yeah, I do believe that we do a really good job here at Woodside at rehoming.
You've seen many dogs come and go. Do you notice notable changes in their behaviour whilst they're here?
Definitely. We work really hard rehabilitating animals, so when they come in, you know, they can be jumping all over the place or nervous, worried, you know, so we don't actually take in anything that's aggressive, but we do work to rehabilitate the animals, and we find them their forever homes in a family environment that's suitable to the animal.
Could you tell us about a success story you've seen?
Success stories, seen many success stories. I'd probably say the one that comes to mind most recent was the one about Elsbeth and Wilbur. You know, a lady came to see one dog and ended up leaving with two.
Love that.
So, you know, it's one of those things where you can't separate some dogs. If they come in as a group or pair, then we do try to rehome them together, and that was one of the most successful ones, I'd say, because she fell in love with both of them and they've been successfully rehomed together.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Do you think the daily roles of the animal care assistants affect dog behaviour?
In a massive way, yes. If we didn't have animal care assistants, if we just had people that couldn't come all the time or couldn't be here all the time, it wouldn't help the animals so much. You know, being we've got staff that have come that are consistently here, they understand the animals' needs. They've obviously had training so that they know what they want to get out of the animal and how to get it out of the animal.
Yep.
Well said.
So they have a massive role, obviously, with nutrition, with training, with behaviour. So yes, they do play a massive role.
You yourself are a dog trainer here at Woodside. Do you think all the training pays off?
It depends what kind of training you're talking about. My training is done in the evenings with members of the public, and we do obedience training. So that's just your basic commands, teaching them to behave on the lead, teaching them to respond to their owner. And obviously a lot of that is incorporated into the dogs at the centre as well.
So could you tell me about a success story you've seen?
There's many dogs that we've rehomed. We do have a lot of Staffordshire Bull Terriers here at the centre, and one that I can recall recently was a dog called Daisy. She struggled at the centre. She was quite stressed, you know, spinning in the kennel, didn't like it here at all, bless her. Obviously we did quite a bit of work with her, successfully rehomed her, and 2-3 years down the line she's now what you would call an assistance dog for the person. So the lady's become registered disabled, and Daisy now assists her in the home, getting her washing out the washing machine, and you know, for a staffy that's fantastic publicity. So yeah, that's a really good one.
That's it. That was an amazing story at the end. Sorry.
And we know there are so many success stories.
There's more than there's not.
Exactly.
And again, I'll tell you right now, if you have the time for a dog, the physical ability, you know, the knowledge, you can find your own Tyson and Jazz.
You can.
Believe me.
You can. And if you volunteer, you get to see a lot more of those success stories.
You get to be part of that success story.
I know I think a lot of people like hesitate volunteering because they're afraid you're going to get attached to the dog and then you have to watch the dog go away. But honestly, it fills your heart to see that dog or a cat go off and go to a better, get a home.
But, you know, there's so many good people doing so many good things. We spent July 4th saving a little dog.
Yep.
You know, that was living in the woods by our house for a week. Spent the entire day to get this poor little shy girl. And we were able to do that, thank God. But I want to thank you guys all so much that care about the animals. And again, we challenge you. Donate. Volunteer.
And at least of all, spay and neuter your own pets. That's been my thing, and through our whole rescue thing that we're doing here. Spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay and neuter.
Yes, and I just thank you guys so much. And you know, I hope you understand when we say love like Jazz, be as strong as Tyson. Those are some strong words, because no one loved in this world more than Jazz, and no one was stronger.
Yeah, Tyson was. He was definitely strength. He taught you how to get through things.
I thank God all the time to be blessed to have had Tyson and Jazz in my life.
I can't express how much they have meant to me in my life. They were huge.
Yeah. So, in their honor, and any of the dogs in your lives that you've loved as much as we have with Tyson and Jazz, do something today to help a dog life out, or a cat, whatever it may be. Thank you for watching our show. We appreciate you. We thank you. And please, love like Jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson. Bye.